All right, everybody, what's up? How are you all doing today? Today is now Friday, July the 22nd. It's about 3 p.m. here in Istanbul, Turkey, and we're going to do a Bitcoin technical analysis to see where the market is standing, and we're also going to take a look at some of the top gainers today. So Bitcoin has been on edge for a while now. And we're going to start off with the most important news that has been circulating around the crypto markets for the past 2 days now, or 48 hours rather. And that would be the Tesla sell-off. Oh, by the way, for the people that don't know me, welcome to my channel. My name is Philakone. Everybody calls me Phil. And I've been in the crypto space for about 7 years now. I used to be a mechanical engineer. And fortunately, having about 200 Ethereum that I bought for under $1, and I built a mining rig in 2015. And I ended up mining about 200 Ethereum over the course of about a year. And with mining 200 Ethereum, it actually gave me the ability to leave my job and the confidence to pursue crypto full time. So welcome to my channel. The goal of my channel is to provide you, I'm having trouble speaking today for some reason. The goal of my channel is to provide you with top tier technical analysis from a perspective of a day trader that trades anywhere between the range of $500,000 all the way up to $1.5 million. So I'm definitely somebody you can count on, considering I do this full time, and I think I do it fairly successfully as well. I'd probably give that intro like a 5 or 6 out of 10. Usually I do it a lot better than that, but you're not here for the intro, are you? So let's get on with this technical analysis here today. So first of all, I want to start off with this really big news for me. I was trading a 30 Bitcoin long position, which was about $700,000, and I finally took my loss yesterday with an $11,200 loss. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that because it had a lot to do with risk management, right? I find that whenever I post my loss, and I'm very transparent about it, on Twitter, on Facebook, on my Discord group, on Instagram, everywhere, I don't mind talking about my losses because these losses should teach people a lesson, right? The great traders out there, not me I'm talking about, but anybody who's a good trader, anybody who does this professionally and pursues this full time, they will inevitably take a lot of losses, as long as you're first of all winning more than you're losing and you're maintaining your risk to reward ratio, you're cutting your losses. The number one reason why a lot of people don't make it as a trader is simply because they cannot withstand the volatility. And that volatility kills them. And not only can they not withstand it, but they don't cut their losses fast enough. So they're going to let these losses end up riding into a monstrous loss when they should have taken a big loss or any loss prior to letting it get big. And the reason why I think I'm fairly successful at crypto is simply because, and day trading, right, is simply because I know exactly when to cut my losses. I don't let my losing trades ride. And whenever my gut instinct tells me that there's been a shift in the market, I'm going to close my position almost immediately when just my gut instinct combined with technical analysis tells me that, hey, Phil, maybe you can find a better entry despite you taking a loss now. The point of taking the loss is so you can minimize, right, how much you're losing. But secondly, perhaps you can find a better entry. Sometimes you need to take that loss so you can make more money. It's kind of like, think of it like one step backwards for 2 steps forward. So my $11,000 loss that you see right here that I took yesterday is because I believe that I can get a safer entry on Bitcoin rather than taking a risk of another potential drop. Okay, so really important to understand that. I know that a lot of you have made a lot of money before in a bull market, right? And when you made this money, I bet you anything as well that you also had your profits entirely wiped out, right? It was wiped out because of one perhaps bad trade. You're spending 2, 3, 4 weeks and 1 month grinding for that profit. And then all of a sudden, one major loss ended up wiping out your account or all of those profits. This happens to everybody that I know that's still starting out. It started with me before, right? And it happened over and over again until I realized, hey, I'm doing something wrong here. And then I would recommend to keep a pen and a paper, keep a book, and document the trades that you take. and document the trades very thoroughly, what kind of trades they were that you took. Was it a long breakout? Was it a short breakout? Was it a trend line breakout? Was it a 5 Elliot wave count? Was it a pattern forming? What kind of pattern? Was it an ascending, descending, symmetric, triangle, right? Write out all of these reasons why you entered the position. Was it bullishly diverging on our side? Was the MAC, or bearishly diverging? Was the MACD crossing up? Was the MACD crossing down? Take about 200 trades over 6 months, or however long it takes you to get a good amount of data. And once you get this good amount of data, you can evaluate, hey, I took 44 ascending triangle breakout attempts, right? And how many of them were successful? How many of them actually failed, right? And the ones that did fail, the most important thing is, of the setups that you take, of the ones that you actually fail, record how much you actually lost, okay? Versus record as well a second data, how much you would have lost if you cut your position faster, if you closed it faster. You're gonna see some major data, and you're gonna look at your trades, and you're gonna be like, whoa, I took like 180 trades, and then out of all of them, right, I lost, for example, I'm just gonna write a random number. I took a like 5.5% loss. That was your average for all 200 trades, right? And then you record them as well. Well, if and for each trade you record if you had taken your loss a little bit earlier, right? How you could have done it, where you could have done it, and then you get a comparison of how much you would have lost if you cut your losses faster versus how much you actually lost. You're gonna see a significant difference in the data. Like, for example, you might see 2% you would have lost only if you cut it faster. And then you would see maybe 5.5% for your actual trades that you took. Once you see these numbers side by side, this is what I did. This is the strategy that I used to finally develop how to take my losses faster. Somebody looking at you in the eye and telling you online or through a video like this, hey, take your losses faster, right? Cut your losses faster. It doesn't really help, guys. Like, you know what you need to do. But knowing what you need to do and actually executing it with discipline is completely different. I just looked at my microphone right now and I'm like, hey, am I actually recording right now? So I think my COVID case is over right now. If you guys can't tell, my energy is through the roof. Not good enough to exercise yet. I lost 9 pounds in about 2 months. So very proud of that. Turkey food made me fat. I'm not going to deny it. When you're living in Canada and food's 4 times more expensive, but you move to a country with better food and 4 times cheaper, you're probably going to indulge a little bit. Combined with my wife, that's like a wannabe professional chef. She's a really, really good cook. Combined with all those factors, of course I gained weight. So I apologize for looking healthy and feeling even healthier, guys. Anyways, so if you record this data over the course of months or even 6 months, you're gonna see the difference in what you could have lost versus what you actually lost. So here, it's all about minimizing my loss. Okay, so this is where I ended up entering. Okay, I ended up entering around here, right there, around 11 p.m. at night. Okay, actually no, I'm not gonna joke about that. I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. Okay, right here, this candle going up is where I ended up entering. And guess what? The Elon Musk Tesla sell-off of $930 million of his Bitcoin, which was 75% of their portfolio or of Tesla's holdings, was actually right here. I missed the news, right? And I entered on the retracement up, and then tank we go. So I don't know how much that could have impacted the market, but to be quite honest, almost $1 billion, it's just a drop in the bucket when you look at the long-term picture of Bitcoin and what it can accomplish. I don't think a $1 billion investor could really affect the long-term potential of Bitcoin. But of course, I decided to end up holding it, okay? Very bullishly, I decided to hold it, right? So this is what ends up happening. So I'm going to show you guys right here. This is very bullish, by the way, this candle. I think we're going to break upwards. And on the break of this candle, 24,200, I'm going to end up logging it. So let's talk about subjectivity of a trend line. For those where their English language is not their first language, I'm going to start to explain it to you guys. So don't take this in a in a rude way or anything like that. It's not like that at all, okay, guys? So if you take a look here, there's multiple ways I can draw this trend line. One way that I can draw this trend line is like this, perhaps, okay? So let's just give you an idea. So if you take a look at this trend line, it's actually a beautiful trend line, okay? The reason why this is very beautiful is because we hit many points, okay? Like this. Whoops. Right here, right? You're seeing multiple points. Actually, let me draw it better, the way that I originally drew it. Like here, right here, okay? So this is beautiful. Do you see how beautiful this trend line is? No one will disagree with me, right? That's a great trend line, right? So then if I drew it this way, then we actually ended up retesting this particular support here, and now we're uptrending. But man, I did not want to take a chance at that particular support region for the retest. And that's one of the main reasons I sold as well, combined with these other factors as well. So that's one way you could have drawn it. Another way you could have drawn it is even more sloped, okay? It's even more sloped. This is how some other people drew it as well. See what I mean? So this is how other people drew it as well. Because if you look at this, this looks pretty damn good as well, right? Doesn't that look great? So let me just clarify. Okay, I'm gonna draw both ways for you guys. That's one way, and the second way was more sloped. Okay, more slope, and I'm gonna change the color so you all can see it a lot better. Let's change this one to yellow here. Okay. Do you see? So look at the blue first. Try to focus on it. That looks great. If you focus on the yellow now, that also looks great. Which means that we tried to break above that resistance, but we came back down. So this is the reason why trend lines are very subjective. There might be one guy that's going to draw it the blue way, and there's going to be another guy that's going to draw it the yellow way. Which one's right? You really don't know. They're all subjective depending on the time frame. So this is another major reason why where I wasn't sure where this major trend line support was. So I see it trending to the downside, so I close my position, right? Not only that, okay, if I do an Elliot wave count, the Elliot wave count really threw me off. So the count is definitely like this for the first wave, right? There's no doubt about it. Okay, this is probably the whatever, 5 there. 2 goes here, okay? 2 goes there. So now I wondered and I thought to myself that, hey, this guy is channeling hard. Okay? This is channeling hard. It breaks to the downside, right? So this was another reason why I was bearish, because I didn't think it was going to get back up to that high. So this channel breaks, I honestly should have taken my loss right away, right? But I was stubborn, like a lot of traders are, right? So this here, I originally thought that this was probably, I don't know if this is, so this in here is a third. We don't know if this is a 2, and that's a 3, 4, 5, right? That could be it, where this makes an A, B, C to make a 2, 3, 4, 5. Another way is this could have been a 2. This could have been basically a 4, and now we're making a 5. Because now, look what we have. We got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. That's very divisible. So now, I'm asking myself, is this making a 5? Which means that all of this is 1, all of this is 2, all of this, wherever it is 3, 4, and there's a 5. Okay, so if you look at the bigger picture, it goes something like that, right? So there's so many possibilities of an Elliott wave count as well, okay? So many possibilities. That's why, another reason I exited my trade. Another major reason I exited my trade was this is probably one of the main ones. I see this wedging in here, okay? And the way that ABCDEs work, right? Or is it goes like this, okay? So this is an A, okay? Perhaps a B, C, D, and E. And this makes the first wave only, okay? Where this makes a leading first wave diagonal in a 1. So I originally thought this could have been a B, and then there's another down, right? To make the A, B, C. Do you know what I mean? So now this makes the A, that makes the B, and the C, right? Because a leading diagonal always makes third subdivisions. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I thought that at the B at the top, we were gonna downtrend. So when it got close to around there, that's where I ended up taking my loss at. I closed it near the top, right? So with a 30 Bitcoin position, for every $100, you're looking at a $3,000 move when you're playing 700K. That's a really big number, guys. So I had to make sure that I minimized my losses. So if we ended up downtrending, I would have been down like freaking 40K. I was down 40K at one point. And the only reason I didn't close my position was because of this major trend line that I noticed from down here to there. I saw that we bounced here, and on the 4-hour, we ended up getting a doji candle that ended up showing very strong support right there. Also, on the 90-minute chart, we ended up crossing over. No, I really hope I didn't delete my give me a second here. Okay, I thought I deleted my RSI, etc. by accident there. Sometimes I do. Okay, so I'm noticing on the 90-minute chart, you saw the MACD cross over right around here, right? So this guy crosses over. I'm riding it now. I'm like, great, it's gonna cross over. So I'm holding it. The 1 hour crosses over earlier, over here. So right at that particular support for the 4-hour, it bounces, okay? It bounces just like that. So I'm like, okay, let's go a little bit further, take my loss there. So I literally turned the $40,000 loss to a $11,200 loss. So right now, the way that I see Bitcoin is very undecided, okay? I don't know, man. Like, right, because of that sale by Tesla 2 days ago, the market reacted very bearishly, okay? It really did. Investors lost confidence, started to see some sell-off volume. But what I do see is the MACD is still trending to the upside. Okay, the CME gap is in about, I think, 10 days or something, right? And that's at $28,000. Do you see this major region right here? This there is gigantic, okay? This right here, 29K, is a gigantic resistance. I want to be very clear about that, okay? A lot of shorts are going to end up taking place there. See that here? Lots of activity. Volume is intense. Volume is intense. So in this particular region, you're going to see a lot of sell-offs, guaranteed. So right now, the CME gap, are we going to retest $28,000? Weekly is bullishly diverging, okay? The 4-day is also going up as well. But let me tell you one bearish sign. One bearish sign is that on the 2-day, finally, we got a really ugly spinning top type candle at the top with little volume compared to the previous one. You would want a big candle following this one, that Harambe, whatever it's called. I just call it a big green candle. Everybody knows it. So that's another major resistance, right? So another major one that you see is the 55 moving average right here. See the 55 daily EMA? This is going to be here for a while, but if we break right through it, there's no doubt in my mind that we might end up making a bunch of waves to the upside to hit 29K. So right now, my stance on Bitcoin is somewhere between neutral and bullish, I have to admit, okay? Neutral and bullish. I see that the 4-hour wants to cross back up, but it hasn't yet. What I like the most is that Bitcoin recovered exactly where it should have, right? Which is a 2-hour, 55 EMA, 2-hour bounce, 2-hour bounce, 2-hour bounce. It bounces very nicely, so I think that we're probably going to end up breaking this high. Now, we might get a formation like this for a while, okay? So the road to 28,000 continues, okay? So we might get a formation somewhere like that for a while, and then once we break this is in about 3 days. If we break it, we're going to see that $29,000 hit, guys. It's looking more bullish than bearish, I have to admit. Despite the Tesla sell-off, we're looking way more bullish than bearish. So guys, this lesson I hope it was a good lesson for you to realize kind of my mentality when I'm trading like $700,000. You know, these are, to anybody, these are big numbers, right? And maintaining your risk and managing it and making sure that you don't let these losses ride, because 700K is a big number and it's only leveraged like times 2, guys. It's not leveraged much at all. It's not like it's leveraged times 10 or 20 or 30, you know what I mean? It's literally like, it's liquid. The money's liquid, put it that way. So you got to make sure you're managing your position really well and take these losses, because that $700,000 position, 1% 7K. And we've seen Bitcoin do some stupid things. Let me give you an example of Bitcoin doing a stupid thing. Okay, let me show you. I'm sure that you remember, right? Like here, for example, right here, this is in 1 or 2 hours, Bitcoin does 13%. So we've seen Bitcoin do some crazy shit. And another big one that we've seen recently is right here. Okay, hold on. Where was this guy? Right here. Where we saw this going up to the upside, and then all of a sudden, 31,000 to set. No, that's not it. That's not it, guys. Gotta look at it closer. I can't remember where it was. This one. Right here. This one was massive. We ended up getting a 6% dump there when we thought we were trending up, right? That was a really scary drop as well. So we can see some huge volatility. That's 3%. This one here is 3%. 3% of 700K is $21,000. You don't want to be caught in these positions where you're trading big and they're big dumps. You got to protect yourself, guys. FLM today is huge. I missed it during this video. I missed it. See that trend line I just drew? I was freaking waiting for it to break out of that trend line. Okay? I would have caught it because I was looking at it. It happened. Nah, I wouldn't have caught it. I'll be honest. It happened in a 1 minute candle. You can't trade coins like that. You know, they're heavily manipulated. You got to protect yourselves from these kind of coins and say to yourself, forget it. I'm not even going to trade it because it's not worth my risk. Stay away from these kind of coins, guys. When a 30% spike happens in 1 minute, tell yourself there's no way I'm going to take the risk. A good trader, what they do is they focus on how much they can actually lose, not how much they can gain. Remember that. A good trader always thinks about how much he can actually lose, not how much he can win. When you learn how to protect your capital, that's when you can truly grow it. You got to see it as something precious, right? This is your treasure. If you got to protect that treasure, and sometimes a little bit of that treasure is going to leave that box of yours. But man, it's about trying to get more in while letting less out. And the only way you can do that is to develop the mental and fortitude to have that discipline. But that discipline, it's not enough. You can't just look at yourself and be like, yep, I'm going to do this better next time. You know, it doesn't work like that for trading. Everybody knows what they need to do. Everybody, like, I'm not joking. Everybody knows they need to cut their losses faster. Everybody knows they gotta not let their big losses turn into a big one. Everybody knows that if they would have a lot more money, if they did this, if they did that. Looking in hindsight, right, you realize what you gotta do. But having the action plan to actually execute it, right, by developing a system that's gonna stick, that's different. So get that pen and paper out. Start writing down your trades. If you want to get to the level of trading over $1 million and make over $1 million, trust me, guys, you gotta have a system. Because if you're doing something like just trying to remember your trades and just going through it day to day without documenting, you're just playing a video game. And this video game is costing you a lot of money. So start studying. Start studying, guys. I really mean that. I still have one course left, believe it or not. That's crazy. I haven't really been advertising it, but I found 3 more books, but I'm only gonna sell one. You guys should jump on my course, honestly. Get in my Discord group. It's on sale from $2,000 to $1,050. It's $1,050. You're gonna get my Discord for a whole year to basically ask me anything you want or just chat. Or sorry, not a year, a lifetime. A lifetime. It's normally $600 a year. So for $1,050, you get a lifetime Discord with me. I'll be around for a while. Trust me, guys. I've been around for 7 years already. You're also going to get my full course version 2.0. The first course I released got 4,000 reviews at 4.8 stars. Pretty good course, I'd say. Probably one of the most comprehensive trading courses that's ever been made. And then you're also going to get my book that's mailed out to you. Let me show you it. This is my book. Okay? You guys are going to get my course version 2.0 book mailed out to you. I think that's worth it. Pretty cool book. Gold plated. 200 pages. 250 pages of really good information. It's more like a summary, right? A summary of the actual course. But trust me, I put in a lot of time, a lot of detail into this book. Okay, so you guys are really gonna like it. Trust me, it's got a lot of good stories in it. It's really well written. Like, man, took me a long time to write it. I think you guys are gonna come away with a lot. So think about it. You get the book, you get the course, and you get a lifetime Discord trading with me, guys. I think that's a good investment, right? And you guys also get to see Ellie every day. She's pretty grumpy right now. So anyways, have yourself a great day. My thoughts on Bitcoin, it stands just the way it is. I think we're still going to get to $28,000, $29,000. Okay? And I took a $12,000 loss, and I'm proud to show you guys because I hope that you can use my mistakes as a learning experience. So bye now. Make sure you click on that subscribe, that like, and the notification button to get to know exactly when I stream and when I post. Have a great weekend. Take care now.